One of the PDC Premier League 2026, coming from the Utilita Arena in Newcastle, right by the banks of the Tyne. And on debut, Jan van Veen is through to the final of night one, having seen off Johnny Clayton, who looked imperious in his quarter-final, but 6 legs to 4 for GVV, and he will take on the winner of 2 former world champions who are up next, the 3-time world champ Michael van Gerwen and Luke Humphries, the reigning Premier League champion. Paul Nicholson back alongside me, Ian Danta here, both on talkSPORT 2 and our brand new stream on the talkSPORT Darts YouTube page. And as you were saying before we took that little break after Van Veen's win, you cannot get a bus ticket between these two in terms of their head-to-head records, Nico.
You can't. It's 16 games apiece. However, in Premier League darts stance, Humphries has won 8 times. Van Gerwen has only won twice. I just wonder if there's been a bit of a sea change. When it comes to the Premier League master in MVG, he has a little bit of kryptonite in Luke Humphries. He walks first.
That doesn't happen often.
He's getting used to it now. He's down the rankings. He's no longer in the top 3. And this genuinely could be the hardest Premier League of his career, because there are more people who can beat him than ever.
I was speaking about Johnny Clayton always making the finals night. I can't think of a year where Michael van Gerwen didn't make the finals night.
It's happened, but it's very rare. For the first time it happened, we all thought he'd stepped into the upside down in Stranger Things.
Well, look, he lost his first 2 legs against Stephen Bunting, and we were all a bit concerned for him, and then suddenly, bang, 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 6 legs in a row. And what was the drama?
And now we welcome back the reigning and defending Premier League.
Is that your way of saying I predict some drama?
I'd love to say I'll predict a 9, but I think that would be a little bit asking too much. But you just never know with the quality of dart players that we've got in the PDC nowadays. They're all capable of it, all of them. And Michael van Gerwen's probably hit more than most over the course of his career. I'll wager it's over 39 darters he's hit, or something ridiculous like that. I'm sure I was totting it up the other day. But yeah, Kaiser Chiefs herald the arrival on stage of the reigning Premier League champion. Sometimes gets forgotten that in the midst of everything else that's gone in world darts last year. He felt he had a point to prove in May last year, and boy did he prove it by beating Luke Littler at the O2 Arena in the final. Nothing he would like better than to keep his hands on that trophy.
That trophy is something he can get back in May, but the journey has got to be good enough to get there to defend it. Johnny Clayton, back in 2022, got to the playoffs, but couldn't defend it. But what we have learned from Humphries over the last 2 seasons is that he's very good at pacing himself throughout the campaign, because 2 Premier League campaigns, he's made the final on both occasions. That is something we really have come accustomed to with Michael van Gerwen, but maybe over the last couple of years we're starting to become accustomed to him not being the favourite and maybe one of the chasers instead of being the governor anymore.
See whether he pulls his socks up at any point during the course of this contest, which he does sometimes on stage, and almost feels like not just a figurative thing to do, but a literal motivational technique that Van Gerwen uses to get himself up in certain situations.
Well, someone who's made more money in this sport than anyone. At the start of the year, he eclipsed the £12 million mark. You would think with that kind of money you'd be able to get decent socks, and he's already pulling them up.
I can't believe it. I can't believe what I've just witnessed. It's like I predicted it, like a riot. So we're underway for the 2nd semi-final for the right to face Van Veen, who is now the Dutch #1 ahead of Michael van Gerwen, and it's a long time since Michael van Gerwen was not #1 player in the Netherlands.
A long, long time. And that won't sit well with him. He will feel like he's still the best player in the Netherlands, but he's so kind in the fact that he will not begrudge Van Veen that title. He will understand that he doesn't have as much ranking money as Van Veen, but he would like to get a crack at him tonight just to put him down a peg or two.
Oh, he's in the red bit here, Van Gerwen for his first maximum, but Humphries on throw. He's already down on 1-4-1 for the first leg, and there's the treble 20, 19s. It's a single. Wanted treble 19 for double 12, so he'll come back because Van Gerwen's not on a finish yet, just outside that zone on 188.
It's a great 140 from Michael though, till he's 48. Humphries on 52 gets a big high single 20. Misses double 16 left, but adjusts perfectly. Centimetre to the right, kept it at the same height, and that's the beauty of double 16 dance. If you can miss it left and high, you still have plenty of room to the right to get that leg on the board. It's 1-0 Humphries in the second semi-final.
Humphries with those darts with the barrels, not unlike a spring onion. And those flights that sort of a good luck charm for him. I still don't know whether he's managed to find a new supplier for them, because I know he's running out.
I think he's only got about 600 sets left. I think he's good for another couple of years.
Okay.
And he does use these green pentathlon flights, which he adores, sparingly. He doesn't change them every game. He'll probably change them once a day, maybe once every other day, because they're very durable. He's in the 60 here from 341. He's crushing it. Only a 140, but he looks a little disgruntled on the stage here, does Humphries? Wonder why.
It's a proper rat-attack game, this. Both players get through their darts 1 to 3, nice and quick. Should suit both their games when these two, and that probably shows in the head-to-head records that they both bring out the best in one another. 16 apiece going into tonight. Humphries won the match play final that we brought you on talkSPORT 2 back in 2021 against MVG. When we were back at the Winter Gardens in Blackpool. And double 16 for Humphries for a break. It doesn't go, so Van Gerwen 97 to hold.
That was right on the wire of double 16. That is right in the middle of the 57, and that's a 97 and 2 for MVG, who loves Newcastle. His win percentage in this town is remarkable, considering the people he's played. 12 wins from 16 games against the best players that will ever play the game, probably. That is extraordinary. As for Humphries, 5 games played, 3 wins. It's very good. He might have the same win percentage in about another 10 years, because that's how long Van Gerwen's been coming here.
And next week, the Jamboree heads out to Belgium for the very first time. The Premier League heads to Antwerp. And of course, Belgian darts has seen some big stars in recent years. Another former match-play champion in Dimitri van den Berg. We've seen Kim Huybrechts over the years.
He didn't have a very good World Championship, did they?
He lost the very first game, Kim, to Arno Merck.
All the Belgians were out well before Christmas. Going to be a big year for Dimitri van den Berg. I wonder what we're going to get from him.
Do you know, I haven't got the faintest idea. Van Gerwen to break 87. Leaves himself one dart at the ball, and he finds it to break the throw. Good dart. Mouth Luke Humphries at the back of the stage, and it was right smack bang in the middle.
Yeah, great shot. Nothing sweeter than hitting a bullseye to break your opponent. This has got to be plaguing the mind of MVG's. 2-1 up in the second semi-final. But last year in the Premier League dance, he did not get an evening win. He did win on the tour last year in Munich, and he did win later in the year as well at the World Series finals. He played superbly in Amsterdam, but not winning a night in the Premier League, that is a drought.
Well, that's the one thing. The World Series of darts is still Michael Van Gerwen's domain over anybody else, with the sheer number of wins he's got, not just in the tournament series matches itself, but the finals. What's it, 5 or 6 World Series of darts titles he's got?
Yeah, he's won the World Series darts finals more than anybody. And the World Series itself, that goes to Australia, New Zealand, he's been to America. to Germany, the Netherlands, Denmark, and other places in the Middle East this year. He's got more wins than anybody, and he has the highest average in a World Series match. He's got so many records that could be broken by Littler and others over the years. But what he's protecting in this semi-final is a 2-1 lead, and he's got 152, which might be found. 2 treble 20s, just misses double 16 to the left.
By millimetres. Humphries wants 125, 25 scored. Treble 20 for Tots for a brilliant outshot. Why is it just above?
That's 2 checkouts of over 100 that he's wired. 108 and 125, and he's been punished both times. Van Gerwen consolidates after Tots was missed by Humphries. It's 3 legs to 1 to the man from the Netherlands.
Shrug of the shoulders from Humphries after that double 16 was landed by MVG. Little raise of the eyebrows. He knows how close he's been to being on terms with MVG in this one. But the all-important break of throw has gone the way of Mighty Mike.
Humphries is 30 now. Feels like he's been around forever. But then again, when Michael was 30, he'd been around for about 14 years. I came across some old footage the other day of Michael playing against Mark Webster at the 2006 World Masters in the BDO.
With hair.
They looked like children.
Because they were, practically speaking.
Well, Michael won the tournament, beating Martin Adams that year. And he might just win tonight if he can get through Humphries. Van Veen awaits in the final. 239 Van Gerwen, Humphries 225. Has been brought down to 125 again.
You know, you were talking about Van Veen. They only make 80 sets of his darts a day. They literally can't make any more. They can make 800 sets of Littler darts a day, and they still would sell out, wouldn't they? Humphries 125. He's gone bull treble 17 for double 12, and he wires it on the inside this time.
It's a good job. Michael Van Gerwen's on 159. I'll tell you one thing, Dance. What I've noticed over the last couple of years is that Michael Van Gerwen is leaving more bogey numbers than ever, and I don't know why. Double 6, found with the first start by Humphries, but it's only a hold of throw. If he does not break Van Gerwen in this game from here, he will not be making the final.
I think Humphries' career arc is the one that's been most interesting to me personally since we started doing darts on the radio back at the 2018 World Championships. Thinking where Humphries was at that point in his career, when he, by his own admission, was slightly overweight, didn't feel like he had the mental capacity to deal with those longer spelled matches, sorted himself out, and he's been one of the main men in the darts on the radio era.
Well, he's grown up, Dance. In and amongst a lot of dart players that do the right things, he's been around Gerwen Price for the last 10 years. He's been around some of the new talent that's coming through, doing different things, doing things the best way possible.
I wonder if Simon Jordan dared to say to Luke Humphries yesterday on talkSPORT whether 95% of darts players are obese. I bet he didn't. Chicken. Well, he is, isn't he? Ran away from Deontay Wilder the other day as well, didn't you, Simon?
I think we'd all do that.
Well, it depends what you take. Depends what you're saying to him. If you're just saying hello, Deontay,
I'd be saying, how do you take your coffee, sir?
Exactly.
Well, Van Gerwen's on 120 for a hold of throw. He's got a small 20. Where does he go from here? He's going to try and get the 60, and in previous times he would have gone for 2 bulls. He didn't back himself. He's left himself on 80 with Humphries needing 116 and now tops for 3-3. And it's another ton plus checkout that is not taken out with the double. That's the 4th time in this game.
And he certainly didn't wire that one. It was a good inch above. Single 20 leaves Tots for Van Gerwen, but he's got to shift just to the right on the oche to find the room, and he's underneath. So Humphries is back in to break and take us to 3-3, Nico.
Yeah, this is the first time he's been let off the hook. He's got to take this tops to make it 3-3. He's missed it twice, and he's missed 10s as well. He's had his chances. He could be in the distance in this game. And because of the missed darts at double on the combinations and that visit there, he is staring at 4-2 down. Van Gerwen has played decent darts in this contest, and I can't go further than that. It's only a 93 average. If Humphries loses this game the way it's gone, he's going to be livid.
Yep, he can only look at the opportunities he's had. And we're not just talking about the ton first checkouts he's wired. That opportunity with 3 darts in hand at tops, that's a gift horse. You normally do look in the mouth. So 2-2-1 Humphries after 6.
135.
And Van Gerwen a little behind. So Humphries trying to race through this leg to make it 4-3.
85.
Only 85, and he just throws his hand out a couple of times, shaking off a little bit of pain maybe or something, or just something that's annoying him, as Van Gerwen puts in a max to put pressure on the cool hand.
136 is not going to go from the man from Newbury who lives in Cheshire now. 84 brings him down to 52. Van Gerwen's got a chance of 104 and a 5-2 lead, and he needs double 16. And on his combination, he does find the double. And that compounds the pain of cool hand Luke. I've got to say, at this stage of the season, Dance, I know they've had tournaments in the Middle East and the PDC World Masters. Differing results for the two of these guys, obviously. But I don't think we really judge people's form until after the UK Open, which is in about a month. That means everybody's had a month of ranking action and Premier League nights for these guys. If you're not firing by March, something's wrong.
I think that's fair. You get the floor tournaments that takes 128 players down to 2 in one day. No chance for a 9-darter for Luke, 140 there. But yeah, exactly right. By the time you get to Minehead and the FA Cup of Darts, the UK Open, kind of know who's emerging from the pack, from the peloton of dart players.
Humphries with a ton leaves 81 after 9. He's got to win 4 straight legs to get into the final with his nemesis Jan van Veen, who beat him in the European Championship final in Dortmund at the end of October. 81 then to survive a small 19 start, and he needs the bull. He can't find it. It's another combination that is missed on the double, or the bullseye in this case, and it's match point Van Gerwen.
94 left, 54 leaves tops. Brilliant! Michael Van Gerwen with an exercise in how to finish under pressure. Luke Humphries couldn't finish the opportunities presented to him, and Michael Van Gerwen runs out a 6-2 winner to go into an all-Dutch final here in Newcastle on night 1 of the Premier League.
Well, what can we say about that? There have been some great battles from Dutch people in Newcastle over the years. Ruud Gullit used to be the manager of Newcastle United. They've got big Sven Botman at the back these days. They even had Genie Wijnaldum at one point. He went on to Liverpool and did some stuff.
And don't forget Dennis Bergkamp's magic moment at St James's against Nikos Dabizas. Maybe you don't want to remember that.
I don't want to remember that whatsoever. But this final tonight, it could be memorable. It could be the first Premier League nightly win for Jan van Veen on debut in his first week, or the first weekly win for Michael Van Gerwen this season after a winless year last year. It could be the perfect start for probably the most forgotten dart player in this Premier League. It's all been about Littler and Humphries and Van Veen, but Van Gerwen has got a chance of being the successor here tonight.
And he will love being the centre of attention for this all-Dutch final. Coming up next on talkSPORT 2 and the talkSPORT Darts YouTube channel. Who prevails, the Dutch number 1 or the Dutch number 2? That's Van Veen or Van Gerwen. It's up next.
On DAB+, online, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. Live Premier League darts on talkSPORT 2.